people, it's CzarThwomp here, and welcome to episode 25 of Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Just for All. Last time, we were trying to propose the argument that Acro killed the ringmaster, and we kept going. We proved that the possibility of him dropping the bus from the window and conking the ringmaster on the head because the ringmaster was trying to pick up the box that he placed down. But anyways, let's get a move on. The other contradiction? Remember what that ventriloquist said in court? He said that he witnessed white roses on Max's chest at night, but the clown's testimony doesn't match. The clown said that there were no white roses. I'd like to see you try explaining that one away. Can you do it, Nick? Of course, I can explain all of it. What was that? Please recall the instant when the cloak snagged onto the bust. If the cloak snagged onto the bust, what happened to the white roses? Do you get it yet? If the cloak got snagged onto the front of the bust, it means that the white roses would have ended up on the back of the bust. Which explains why Mo didn't see it. The white roses were not visible because they were on the back side of the bust. Order! Order!
This is quite the shocking state of affairs. Mr. Wright's theory still sounds a bit absurd to me. However, let's just keep going down this road for a while and see where it leads.
Let's do this, Nick! Maybe I'll come and fight them in the town! Well, so much for that theory!
Mr. Wright, do you mind? What is it? You took the time to research our circus, didn't you?
Well, yes, I did. Is there something making you think that I didn't?
If you did, then maybe you'll understand why I think you're off track.
Why is that? Motive. This witness feels an incredible debt of gratitude towards the ringmaster. Anyone with any relation to the circus is well aware of this. Thus, there's absolutely no way someone like this could kill the ringmaster. Your Honor, I'd like you to hear Acro's story. Learn about his relationship with the ringmaster and his life up until now. Now what we do? There's no time that Acro deeply respects the ringmaster. Acro's motive.
It seems that this case isn't over yet. Very well. However, I feel this is a good place to take a break. I will listen to the rest of Mr. Dingling's testimony after recess. This court will now take a 10-minute recess.
To be continued. No, I don't want to save. Oh, what was wrong with me? I couldn't even think of... Oh, the symbols. That part always gets me. I always can never remember that. I can't believe it. Acro? It's pretty shocking, isn't it? It definitely is. And to think he was always the most straightforward of the group. Jeebus, unbelievable. Acro tried to pin the mud on you on purpose. He did? My, he's just a little twerp, isn't he? Well, that's one way to put it.
Hey, pal! You're gonna ignore me after waiting all the trouble to bring you some evidence!
Detective comes you!
Forget it, I'm going home! This guy deserves to be guilty anyways!
No, Detective, I'm sorry. Now, why don't you relax a little? We got the Disney milk!
I'm a card trick detective! Oh! Well, if you insist.
Now, about the evidence you mentioned. What is it?
Here you go.
This was yesterday in Acro's room.
The result of our investigation. You can look at it later.
Well, I'm gonna be mad that you're doing this.
That's why this is all secret.
Huh?
Look, details are on the need-to-know basis, and we're not really allies or anything, but everything that's happened to go up until now is gone according to our plan. Mr. Edgeworth, the divine ruler, proclaims this to be so.
Montgomery looked like she was a baby corridor.
You talk about Miss Montgomery? You think I follow her plans? I follow the word of the one true prosecutor. I only follow the word of Mr. Edgeworth. Yesterday, our final plans were put into place.
Final plans?
That reminds me, I've got a message from the prosecutor for you. Judgment comes at the very last instant. That's it. And that's it for me too, pal. I'm going home. Praise Mr. Edgeworth.
What do you mean by that? The very last instant part? Everything you said seemed pretty cryptic to me.
Oh, one more thing.
don't tell me like that!
It looks like there's a large care package from the circus for the defendant.
For me.
It's milk. The recipient area looks like some kind of dairy. So hurry up and drink it before it spoils.
An entire dairy with milk for me? December 30th, 2:27 p.m. District Court, courtroom number 2. This court is now in session. Shall we continue our proceedings? Ms. Von Karma, please continue from where you left off. I'd like to continue with Acro's testimony, starting with his relationship to the victim. I'd also like to get proof in the defense. Proof of what kind of motive Acro would have to commit this crime. Understood. Now, Mr. Dingling? Yes, Your Honor. Please proceed with your testimony.
Finally, we get to the motive! Wait, Nick, are you okay?
Just do me a favor and don't ask questions you don't want the answer to. When we were little, we were abandoned by our parents. That's when the ringmaster of the very big circus, Russel Berry, took us in. I began acrobat around 9 years old. I wanted to find a way to repay the ringmaster. That was my sole purpose in life. You're such a thoughtful young man. As you heard, the witness deeply respected the victim. I wonder how anyone could think Acro could kill the man he held in such high esteem. You are absolutely right. How could anyone think that, Mr. Wright? Which is why there's no real need to cross-examine, is there? Actually, that's the question I'm trying to answer myself. Why would Acro kill the ringmaster? This might be my last chance to answer that question. Of course I'll cross-examine. The defense has a right to cross-examine the witness. You are so tactless, Mr. Phoenix Wright. You don't care about justice, do you? You just want to fabricate a motive. Granted, Phoenix doesn't care about justice in a sense if you know about Apollo justice. Phoenix doesn't care about Apollo. Apollo is Phoenix's puppets. You'll see when we get to that game. Very well, Mr. Wright. Cross-examine the witness. We? Yes, my brother Sean and I. What, you had a brother? How old were you when this happened, Acro? I was 8 years old and my brother was 4. Your parents were very cruel, weren't they? Nowadays, we aren't bitter about what happened to us, because they allowed us to meet the wonderful people at the very big circus. And Mo.
Nick, the guy's getting misty-eyed!
He's got a soft spot for sob stories, looks like. Oh! There's no crying in court. Let's keep going. The witness may proceed with his testimony. How would you describe your relationship with the ringmaster? He was like an uncle, a father, and a big brother all rolled up into one. The ringmaster and my brother were the only family I had. What about the other people at the circus? This was over 15 years ago. Back then, there were very few customers coming in, so no one really had the time to look after us. They were worried about other things, but the ringmaster, he would always come see us with a laugh and a smile. What a beautiful story! That's why I was always thinking of what I could do to help. I wanted to thank him.
Nick, isn't Uncle such a wonderful person?
I know, he seems like a nice guy, which makes me think so difficult. So then how long have you been a performer? You started off as an acrobat at that early of an age? I begged the ringmaster until he finally agreed to let me do it. Ever since then, I've been in incredible physical shape. That's also why I decided to form a group with my brother. We call ourselves the Flying Dingling Berries. It's nearly a household name. I even heard them in Germany. Liar! Well, to be fair, Franziska probably wasn't allowed to have fun under Manfred's care. Franziska,
Papa, can we talk about the circus?
You will not go to the circus! Only prosecution! You will sue the circus!
And then Blaze,
Hey, Von Karma, mind if I take him to the circus?
you are not going to take my children to the circus!
Especially not with Gans. Gans always pumping, always want corn candy.
Oh, come on, Von Karma. Don't be such a spoil sport. You know, it's good to let him get out, see the performances and all that stuff. Heck, I think they include cotton candy with condoms with cotton candy nowadays.
That's not a condom, you baboon!
Looks like a condom.
It's a moist toilet! Where the hell was that coming from? I swear I've spent too much time writing the best of friends. The point is, I wanted to be of some use to the circus. You
truly are a remarkable young man.
The judge keeps looking at Acro almost like a proud father. Unfortunately, Francisco wouldn't know what that looks like. Did you ever have any trouble with the ringmaster? Ow! How could you ask such a thing, Mr. Phoenix Wright? Do you have some sort of fundamental misunderstanding of this witness's testimony, or the heartfelt emotions contained within? You better think about it, Mr. Phoenix Wright. You better think hard. Ow! 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 Ow!
No matter how you look at it, there's no way I could see this witness ever taking the victim's life.
Exactly. I've been waiting for you to say that, Your Honor.
Nick, I hate to say it, but I agree with them.
I was trying to chase down the truth, but I ended up just looking like a jerk.
I think that will be enough for now. Pondering whether or not this witness would kill the ringmaster leads me to believe that is pretty much unlikely.
Exactly right, Your Honor.
Mr. Wright, I'd like to ask you a question.
Go ahead, Your Honor.
What was Acro's motive for killing the ringmaster? How about it? Can you explain that to me?
I can't provide one, because he does have one against the ringmaster.
Nick?
Yeah, I didn't even have to think about it. It was obvious from the start. Your Honor, the reason that Acro killed the ringmaster is something that can't be proven.
What?
That's because Acro had no reason to kill the ringmaster at all. Ow! Your foolish attempts to fool us like foolish fools is so foolhardily foolish. Did you forget you made an accusation against this witness, did you not? I believe it was, this is the real killer of Russell Berry, ringmaster. If you want to jump to the end of things, then yes, that sounds about right.
The end of things?
Acro, you didn't plan to kill the ringmaster at all, did you? The ringmaster wasn't your target that night. What did you just say? I'm saying that the target of this witness's murder plot was not the ringmaster. He did not plan to kill Russell Berry. What?
Order, order! Bailiff, I don't care who it is. Smack anyone who's loud in the face. Twice if you must.
And then Apollo, he's in the courtroom, and then just... Oh! 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 Oh!
Who is that screaming horn-haired child? Your Honor, you said slap anyone loud. And this kid's really loud.
Oh! Oh! Oh!
Your Honor, stop slapping me! Mr. Wright, what in the world are you trying to do to my court?
Oh! Mr. Phoenix Wright, what in the world are you trying to do to his court? Do you think Francisco would say my court? Yes. He was trying to kill Regina. Regina Berry?
This young girl is the ringmaster's daughter?
Correct, Acro. You were really aiming for her that night, weren't you?
Objection!
You don't need to answer that. It's a mean-spirited leading question. He could easily answer the question. If I'm wrong, all you have to say is, you're wrong. That's it. That's it? Huh, Mr. Phoenix Wright?
Enough. Mr. Wright, allow me to...
Ow! The only thing allowed to interrupt me is death itself. And that goes for you too, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Show me evidence now. I want to know why Acro would want to kill Regina Berry.
Yes, me too. I demand to see some proof.
Okay. Oh, come on! Oh! Okay. Granted, I'm not going to get to show you the full power of this. But, I'm doing it. From save points. I'm going to try my best. Must be the special bond between Whipper and Whipped.
My bit's right there, Mr. Wright.
Even though the scarf is pretty much stating it. Acro, do you have any recollection of seeing this? It's a piece of paper that we found inside the ringmaster's tailcoat.
Inside the victim's tailcoat?
Acro wrote this note. It's ironically entitled, "To the Murderer." Its purpose was to call someone to the plaza at 10 p.m.
So you're saying that he called Russell Berry with that note?
There's just one little problem. Acro did indeed place this note in someone's pocket. However, that someone was not the ringmaster. You mean it wasn't for the... That's exactly what I mean. The person this note was intended for was none other than Regina Berry.
Order! Mr. Wright, this little theory of yours.
It's the truth, Your Honor. It isn't a theory. Simply put, Regina didn't think the note was meant for her, which is why, the morning of the crime, she placed it on the cafeteria billboard. That's when her father, I mean the ringmaster, read the note. That's correct. The ringmaster ended up in that plaza instead of Regina. And he was killed because of the mistake, instead of Regina.
That's incredible.
Remember the testimony that Acro gave us earlier today?
Lifting the bust and looking out the window would have been impossible. There's no way I could have exerted that kind of force on my lower body. If I were to do that, I'd have ended up falling out the window myself.
Acro had no idea who it was that arrived in the plaza, because he couldn't look down out of his window to see who it actually was.
I've got it! Acro thought it was Regina down in the plaza.
And that's when he let the bus fly.
Hey, Nick, isn't Regina listening to all this from the audience?
She is, unfortunately. It's only going to get harsher from here.
I hope Regina can handle it.
Acro wrote this note to Regina?
Objection.
Foolishly foolish fool with foolishly foolish fool ideas of foolish tomfoolery. You're so foolish, you've even made me sound like a foolhardy fool. Very well, Mr. Phoenix Wright. If you're so sure, then tell us about this line. I have conclusive evidence of what took place. Uh-huh. That's a line in the note, all right. Well, then, if the note was sent to Regina Berry, it must mean that this note is declaring that Regina Berry is a murderer. You just don't get it, do you? What? What did you just say? The ringmaster knew that what this note meant, which is why he went to the plaza in place of his lovely daughter.
Hold it right there, Mr. Wright. What is this incident that is alluded to in the note?
The incident 6 months ago. I know all about it. An incident occurred 6 months ago, and now I'm more than ready to show this court what happened at the time. Moron!
Wait, are you sure that it relates to the present case?
It does indeed, Your Honor. Everything in this case has its start in what happened 6 months ago.
Really, Nick?
I think so. Well then, if that's the case, hurry up and tell us about it. What is this conclusive evidence mentioned in the note? I know, I'd certainly like to know what it is. If I can't answer that question, the judge is going to think I'm bluffing. Oh, please tell me I'm not going to get it wrong. The scarf. Please tell me it's the scarf. Oh, crap. You're going to see a game over.
Well, from now on, you can tell those sort of things at home, on your own time. That's enough. This court sees no reason to further prolong this trial, nor is there any more need to decide the case against the defendant. This case is extremely clear. I see no room for misinterpretation of the facts. This court finds the defendant, Mr. Billy Bob Jones, guilty! The accuser was surrendered to the court immediately. They held pending trial at a higher court with a month of today's date. That is all. Court is adjourned.
I'm going to do the rest of this episode, this video, so don't worry. That's what a game over looks like. Yes, I failed. I'm sorry. Thankfully, I saved. Special bond, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to be speeding through this dialogue. Yes, I know. Blah, blah, blah. Acro looking aggro. And he's like, Phoenix like, oh, this says you murdered her. And the judge is like, what? And Phoenix like, oh, here's the note to the murderer. It was called to call someone to the plaza. And then Acro, he's in his chair, and the judge is like, oh, going the note. And Phoenix is like, oh, there's just one little problem. And then basically Acro went in someone's pocket. And that someone was not the ringmaster. Francisca, she's like, oh, that can't be. And then Phoenix like, oh, yes, it is. It was in Regina Berry's pocket. Come on, this is evil. I'm sorry. I hate when the game does this. I know what the murder was. I know that it was like, oh, here's the pepper. It's probably the pepper that's in the box. Yeah, it's the pepper that's in the box, but yeah, oh, no. Come on. Yes, I know about the bust. I know about the details. I know about it all. Yes. Let the bust fly. Come on. Justice for All is my least favorite of the main trilogy, and you can see why. Come on.
Objection!
Come on, enough with your foolishness, Francie. Come on, Francie. Speed it up, Francie. You can do it, Francie. Come on. Come on, Francie. Come on. I'm saving here just so that way if I fail again, I can just keep going. We're doing this. You know, you're going to see two, at very least 2 more guilty verdicts. Yes, we know it all, Phoenix. Okay. Okay, come on. Okay. Achoo! What kind of spicy joke is this, Mr. Phoenix Wright? It isn't a joke at all. It's the decisive evidence you asked for. What do you mean? Yes, showing the peppered scarf. That's not enough. The victim would arrive and try to take away the wooden box. That's when they discovered the decisive evidence found inside. Another unbelievable confusion. Very well, Mr. Wright. So what exactly are you saying? Are you claiming that Regina Berry killed him with a small ball of pepper? Taking the note into account, that's the only logical conclusion you can draw. Foolish fool who never tires of his own foolish ways. If you're so sure, Mr. Phoenix Wright, to answer this question, who was Regina's intended victim? Who is this? That is Acro's younger brother. What does this prove? His younger brother isn't dead. Technically, that's true. However, Fat has been in a coma for 6 months now. It's not a stretch to see how Acro could feel that his brother's dead. Regina, she did that to him? Do you spend your entire life dreaming up new ways to be a fool? Naturally, the prosecution has looked into Acro's brother, Sean Dingaling. 6 months ago, he was bit by a lion and fell into his current comatose state. A lion? Miss Regina Berry is an animal tamer by trade. However, no trained animal in that profession has ever trained to attack another human. They wouldn't understand the command. Moreover, Miss Regina could never do something like that. It's just not in her. So then what happened to Acro's brother? He's not the victim of an attempted murder. He's the victim of an accident. I see.
Now what we do? No one seems to be going along with your theory. You think that was what happened when the bat was actually an accident?
Well, it was just that, an accident. I suppose it was truly an accident. It's essential for a man to know when to give up, Mr. Phoenix Wright. It's impossible to prove Regina's involvement is instigating a lion to attack. Whoever heard of something like that? And to think that the defense claimed that this conclusive evidence... Well, it was an accident. She wasn't intending for it to happen. She was just trying to play a childish prank. A small bottle of pepper. A lion. What's their connection? Ah!
What's the matter, Nick?
I figured it out. Wow, it was right in front of my nose the entire time. Your Honor, wait. What is it? The lion biting bat was no accident at all. What? You're such an amateur, Mr. Phoenix Wright. There's no way that Regina would ever incite her lion to attack another human being. She may not have incited the lion to attack another human being, but Regina is responsible for making the lion bite Acro's brother Bat. That's just a scarf. Acro. This scarf is something that Bat used to wear, correct? That's right. And who is the one that gave that scarf to Bat? Regina. Regina gave it to him. Regina. There is something more than just blood on the scarf, Your Honor. And what might that be? Pepper. Regina gave this scarf to Bat right before the accident, and she covered it with as much pepper as she could. Hey, what's with the silent treatment?
Excuse me, Mr. Wright. You've done a good job of fingering a criminal. But out of curiosity, what was her crime? Regina gave a pepper-covered scarf to Bat as a present. Where's the crime in that?
It still seems like the judge just doesn't get it. Mr. Phoenix Wright, wasn't it said that the lion seemed to be smiling?
Smiling? The lion was smiling.
Right before Bat was bit by the lion, for a moment, the lion's mouth changed and it looked like he was smiling.
Lions smile?
I never heard of them smiling, however. Lions sneeze. Leon didn't plan on biting Bat at all. In reality, all he actually did was sneeze. He sneezed because of all the pepper spray on the scarf. What? You fool!
You've got to be kidding me.
Objection!
What's the matter, Miss Von Karma?
I object for objection's sake. Yes, take a page from Edgeworth's book. Mr. Phoenix Wright, this theory, you believe it? You really plan to say this joke of an accident actually happened? Of course I do. It's the truth. The lion sneezed due to the pepper, and that's when Bat lost consciousness. Acro nearly lost his brother due to that accident, or this joke, as you put it. Which is why he tried to get his revenge against Regina. You foolish idiot!
So it's a joke of an accident to you, huh? Once again, I'm impressed by your imagination, Mr. Wright. To think that there's someone who treats this accident with the respect it deserves.
Are you telling me that's why I said was true?
Acro!
You can't mean, witness?
Are you confirming the defense's claim? Mr. Wright, unfortunately, your imagination is not enough to find me guilty of murder.
What do you mean by that?
The pepper, the scarf, the lion. I see where you're going, but it's a bit hard to swallow. Not to mention the fact that there's an even bigger problem with your theory. What would that problem be? The same problem it's always been. Evidence.
If I drop Max's bust on top of the ringmaster?
Where is the evidence that proves that claim?
Oh, okay. Save it here, because I'm going to be getting 2 more guilty verdicts. Because we're going to have some fun theorizing where that bust is. I still can't believe I got the evidence wrong.
You mean the conclusive evidence?
The biggest problem here is the murder weapon, or the lack thereof, to be precise. Murder weapon?
The bust is that the defense claims was used. If that's were to be found in Acro's room, and if it was covered with the victim's blood, that would be awfully conclusive in my eyes.
Yes, it would be. The bust.
Nick, you gotta do something!
This is the last step. If I get this one right, this case is won. Request a search of Acro's room. Defense requests to search the room of the witness, King Dealing. What is it now? It looks like you still haven't figured things out, have you? By now you must know the meaning of Von Karma Total Justice.
You mean
Von Karma never leaves anything to chance. Except sending notes to people who are not the most mentally sound and just trusting that they'll burn it. Literally, if Manfred didn't take chances, he would have went over to Yanni Yogi's house and he would say,
Hey Yanni, did you burn that note?
literally, that could have saved him so much time, literally. We already searched Acro's room yesterday.
What did you find?
There's no reason to even say it. If we found what you think we found in that room, Acro would not be here as a witness. But to put a point on it, Max's bust was not in the room. The murder weapon is still unaccounted for.
You see, Mr. Wright, the bust was in my room.
Furthermore, Detective Dick Gumshoe executed the search by complete surprise, and we took Acro directly to the prosecutor's office after that. End of story. Just wait a second. Something's funny about all this.
It looks like the coup de grace in this case was ever so sweet.
But, what about the scarf? What about the note?
What about them? Mr. Wright, no offense, but the important evidence here is about the death of the ringmaster. I think you should remember that.
You sorry, Nick. Don't let this guy slip away. The bus, where's it now?
Where's the bus right now?
The Phoenix Wright, you know so.
Like I said, I'm trying to save it as close to this as I can. I know, this is funky, this is weird, this is kind of clunky, but I'm doing it. You're seeing it. There's not even a single clue. How am I supposed to know where the bus is? It seems as if this case is coming to a close. The defense counter-argument looks to have fallen short. Thank you for your support. Ah! Now, if you will please excuse me, Mr. Wright. I think that brings us to an end to the cross-examination of this witness.
Where's Max's bust? The defense needs time to prepare to present its case. Case, sorry, I'm a bit nervous, I just bit my tongue.
Huh? What? We need time to do what? Ow! Why are you the most prized person here? She's your aide, isn't she? Do you really have a case to present, Mr. Wright? What? Is he talking to me?
The best after you, Nick. Good luck.
Hey, wait, you can't be serious.
Acrobats always have their dogs in line, don't they? That's how Acro live his life up to now. That's time for us to walk on our own tightrope. If we don't, we're going to lose.
Very well, the defense may proceed. I know! Hey, I'm tying it as close to the bus as I can. Kinda close. He doesn't have a clue, and I don't think he'll be finding one anytime soon. Walking the tightrope of logic. There's no room for a false step. Sink or swim. The only way through is forward. The murder weapon! Where is Max's bus now? Oh! Actually, no. I'm... Okay. Somewhere in this courtroom. That's what you have to say. It's obvious. The bus is inside this very courtroom. It's obvious. Allow me to pinpoint the location of the bus once and for all. Okay, we can actually save here. Good. I never know when I'm going to be able to save. But I'm doing it. Because we get some beauties right here. The prosecutor's bench. It's, what? Why did you stop talking all of a sudden? Well, I'm just not really sure if I should say anything or not because the bus is under the prosecutor's bench. No, you don't mean that. Miss Karma! Oh! Don't think you're getting off so easily.
Nick, get up, Nick!
Proceed, Your Honor. I will when Mr. Wright opens his eyes.
Nick, are you okay?
Who is this girl? There's no time for me to be losing my memory. Yes, Francisca just utterly, but the better one is the next one. What we're going to be doing. Okay. Now, the judge's bench. It's, what? Why did you stop? Okay, all of a sudden. Well, I'm just not really sure if I should say anything now because the bus is under Your Honor's bench. You had to think about whether it was a good idea to say that. Oh! What did you just say to me? That's a penalty! Ah! Oh, basically, too bad I didn't have a full meter because otherwise the judge would say, "What's that? You want a double penalty?" And the judge would slam again and take off another good chunk of your thing. Yes, the judge actually will. I'm sorry I couldn't show it off. Maybe I'll do it in a bonus episode. Maybe not. But Okay, let's do this. Save point. I know the answer. It's the witness chair. It was under Acro's wheelchair the entire time. Acro, I'm sorry to ask this, but do you mind if I take the blanket off of your wheelchair? I'm sorry, I didn't quite hear you, Mr. Wright. Well, you are a big guy, and you have a pretty big wheelchair because of it. I just want to make sure you weren't hiding anything under that blanket. Because it seems to me that it'd be really easy to say, hide a bus under there. Once again, your penchant for humor hits me where it hurts, Mr. Wright. I think it's pretty amazing that you could laugh in your position. However, your lightheartedness doesn't change the fact that the bus is under there. We all know that you couldn't leave the lodging house by yourself in your condition. That proved inconvenient when Miss Von Karma happened to search your room yesterday. If she had found the murder weapon in your room, it would have been all over, which is why you had to hide it. In the only place that you could hide it, under your wheelchair. Which is why, Acro, I have to ask you again. Could you please remove the blanket from your wheelchair? Well done, Mr. Wright. Masterfully played. You fool! How could you? You've got me. I've been bagged by a real pro. Actually, two of them. Two of them? Miss Francisca Von Karma and Mr. Phoenix Wright. Don't you lump me with Phoenix Wright! There's just one thing I'd like to know. How did you know to launch the surprise search in my room last night? There were two pieces of decisive evidence, the cloak and the bust. I burned the cloak in my room and threw the ashes away with the trash. Regina always took my trash out every morning, you know. But the bust, obviously I couldn't throw that away. When you executed your search, all I could do was try and hide the bust. And the only place I could hide it quickly was under this wheelchair. Miss Von Karma, you had things all figured out, didn't you? I was completely suckered in by your calculated strategy. And now to be caught in the middle of court hiding the murder weapon. There's no way I can escape that. So you've got me. Well done, Mr. Wright. Well done, Miss Von Karma. It all makes sense now.
I can't believe that Miss Von Karma done that for it. It's amazing.
Uh-huh. You definitely couldn't tell by looking at her. I know I sure couldn't. I can't believe it! I failed! Why did I order a surprise search of your room? If only I hadn't done that! It doesn't matter how now, though. It seems as if we arrived at the truth. Acro? Yes, Your Honor. Did you kill the ringmaster of the Berry Big Circus, Mr. Russel Berry? Yes, Your Honor. I'm responsible for that crime.
Acro!
All my brother did was want Regina to like him. That's why he teased her. He wanted to go to the movies and get popcorn with extra butter. He wanted to get that extra salty popcorn. One day, my brother sprinkled some pepper on Regina. She started sneezing so hard, you couldn't help yourself from laughing. That's why Regina thought it'd be funny to get him back in the same way. And that's why she covered up the scarf in pepper. I know she didn't want anything bad to happen. I know this. She just wanted to make my brother sneeze a few times too. But I just couldn't forgive her, no matter what. What I am truly guilty of, I'm guilty of never ever being able to understand her. Your brother became a star. Regina believed in that so purely that she would laugh innocently when saying it, too innocently. I just couldn't stand it, no matter how hard I tried. That's when you decided to do something about Regina. What do you mean by that? So you're saying that you are a victim in all this as well? No, that's not what I mean. I'm nothing but a murderer. That's who I am. At first I thought I'd kill myself. Then I pondered giving myself up. But I couldn't just up and leave. I just couldn't. That's why I tried to pin this on Max. Max, I'm so sorry. I just couldn't up and leave yet. This has been such a strange case. It's almost a reflection of the circus itself. I'm an idiot! I can't believe it! You beat me again! I believe this case is now beyond any point of possible discussion. Thus, I'd like to declare my verdict. Not guilty. This court is adjourned. December 30th, 4:27 p.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby, number 5. Fabulous! But to be honest, I can't really be too happy about this.
Acro, the ringmaster, Regina, and Bat. Not a single one of them was a bad person inside, huh?
That's a good question, and one I do not know the answer to. Congratulations, Mr. Max. Thank you. What's with the vibe in this room?
What do you think about Acro?
No. If you worry too much about people too much, then you'll stay like this forever and never be happy.
Huh? What?
She's been like this for a while now. I want to slap her upside the head with a rubber chicken so badly.
What? It's all my fault. What?
Sweetie pie.
Man, Acro, they're never coming back. Now everyone's gonna split up. Regina, Mr. Wright, tell me something.
What you want to do? Want to know, Regina?
Acro said something right at the end.
I just couldn't up and leave yet.
Does that mean that Acro is he gonna try and get his revenge on me?
Of course he is. I don't think so. I'm not that heartless. No, he's not gonna do that to you.
Are you sure? You're really sure? I can't believe that.
Yep, Acro doesn't have any desire for revenge anymore.
If that's true, then I want to see some evidence.
Huh?
Acro said that all the time to you, so I thought it would for me too.
Acro didn't want to get caught for a reason. He wanted to see his brother open his eyes again. Oh, speaking of which, last case, I believe that we had to present Pearl's picture to Maya to say, oh, Morgan was doing it for Pearl.
But that's right, Regina, he's still alive, you know. He is, huh? But now that Acro's been caught. I know. What? I'll do it. I'll stay next to Bad for as long as it takes. Until he opens his eyes, and then until we can be Acro again.
That's so sweet of you, Regina.
I'm sorry, Acro. I'm sorry, Bad.
Well, hopefully this is enough to give her a little peace of mind. Hey, Max! What is it, Mo? We really put you through a lot, didn't we, buddy? I'm so sorry about what happened. So whatever you'd like to leave us, I'll pay your fee and rip up the contract. I understand. Such a fabulous thing to do for me. I might even leave tomorrow. What's going to happen to the circus now? That's the big question. Our ringmaster was really an amazing person, wasn't he? Even though he's not here anymore, everyone's still sticking together. The staff, the performers. No one wants to leave the circus. Because that's where I'm at. Because they won't want to be with me. I put shock ankle bracelets around the shins so they can never leave. What is it? I decided that I will take over as the new ringmaster. I'll turn the circus into the best circus this world has ever seen. The best circus the world has ever seen? Don't laugh. Amazing.
Yay! I can't wait!
Then I guess that changes things, huh? There's only one thing the best circus the world has ever seen needs. The world's best illusions. Which means the circus needs the best magician the world has ever seen. Max. Let's work together and make our circus super fabulous! What do you say, big guy? I don't know what to say. All I can say is thank you. Regina, you're gonna help out too, aren't you?
I don't know. Maybe the circus would be better off without me.
What are you talking about, Regina? You're in this now! You killed off 2 of our performers, essentially! You're gonna be pulling your weight around here, Missy! I also put some arsenic in your burger! Says Pepper. Why do you think that I brought you to court today? I wanted to psychologically break you to rebuild you in my image. We gotta work together and make the Berry Big Circus bigger than it's ever been.
Mo!
Mo's right, sweetie pie. It can't be the Berry Big Circus without Regina Berry.
Max! Nick!
It seems like everything is going to turn out alright here.
I can't wait to go see the best circus in the world has ever seen!
We'll save you the most fabulous seats. It'll take us a while to get ready, but I'm gonna order special whoopee cushion seats. And I'm hire questionable animal tamers. I see. What made this case?
Just like you thought, yesterday's hunch really paid off, sir. You had it all figured out yesterday, didn't you?
Of course I did, Gumshoe. It was just a theory. If Acro really was the killer, I thought this was the only way it could end. Especially if he was the defense attorney.
You mean Mr. Wright?
Of course. Well, Detective, my plane is about to leave. And by the way, I'm paying for first class with the salary cuts I've made for you. Do me a favor and be easy on Acro. Once I get back, I'll make a stop at the chief prosecutor's office.
Yes, sir!
I'll be waiting
for you. Goodbye, Miss Edgeworth. I shall praise your holy name.
Oh god, and now Francisca's ruining my reputation. She's ruining the cravat! I will not stand for this! She will not cut my subordinate's pay! Only I can cut my subordinate's pay! Anyways, I really appreciate that you stuck around to watch this episode. You're a reviewer and come back for the next one. If you like this video, like, subscribe, comment, share, do whatever you want. And with that, I'll see you later. Bye!